Why life insurance?
Protection for your loved ones. So life insurance have many different factors. Mm-hmm. As I said, in my early part of my career, I sold life insurance, and it was term. Term is only good for young people for a short term, what they call whole life.
Whole life.
It never runs out. As long as you pay the premium,
you got it.
You got it. Universal. That means that if you don't have the money to pay the premium, there should be enough money in that policy to pay it. There's money in the balance, so you don't have to make a monthly payment all the time in case you miss one. So it's universal. And the average index has been 10.6 over 30 years of interest. Where you gonna get that? 10.
If you were to overfund it, like you were saying, can you pull money out of it? Like, say you're in a tight bind, you just need to get like maybe some groceries or something. Like, can you pull from your life insurance?
Yes, you can.
Where do I go?
You call my number 1-800-536-5610.
Welcome to Chicken Water Podcast, where we share each other's journeys to inspire others. We have here Khalil Dorsey. We have Johnny Thompson, our guest. How you doing, Johnny?
I'm doing good. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Khalil, for inviting me into your broadcast, and excited to hear what we got going today. I just love that phrase, drinking water. I love that.
Thank you. It's something that, I used to tell them when they were young about, hey, lead a horse to water, you can't get them to drink. So that means when I bring them to something like to work out or what have you, I can't make them work out harder. They got to want to do it.
That's right.
That's the same with work. If they're working, they got to want to do the work and be the best they can at it. So
that's a good
parable. We always call it drinking water.
Drinking water.
Drinking water. So, Johnny, let me introduce you as this Johnny Thompson. He's a friend, a husband, a father, a grandfather, and he's my mentor. He doesn't know it. He influenced a lot of people's lives. So, Johnny, let's start where, Park and Rec. Let's start there. I always wonder, what got you there? What made you go Park and Rec?
Couldn't find another job anywhere else. It was tough out there. It was tough on a kid. But first, thank you for the great introduction. It's been a while since I've had an introduction, but that was a great introduction. I appreciate that. Parks and Rec is something we grew up in Compton, and, we're very much rec, but it was a lot of park.
Yeah.
Park cars.
Yeah.
So, we had to find a place to play. And for me, it was getting people out of trouble and staying in sports, and that was a big influence in inner city.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be a part of that growth. I was from an educator, and two, I didn't pass the CBEST test coming out of college, so I just, it's a true story.
Oh, that CBEST test was tough,
it was tough.
It's tough. It's amazing how some people can pass it right away, and man, it got me too.
And I come to find out you didn't need a CBEST test to work at the recreation department, and that's where God wanted me, and that's what I did for 29 plus years.
29 plus years. I know with you influenced me with my friends giving back. Is just giving back to the community, and you were my mentor. Bible study, everything. He's my mentor and everything. My spiritual mentor, everything. So, you retire from there.
Forcibly. When you've been on the job so long. No, all kidding aside.
How many years?
29 plus years.
29 plus years?
Yeah, 29 plus years. In City of Ontario in the Community Service Department. It was a good experience, and a lot of our kids that I work with started off at 3 and 4 years old in our program. They're actually working for the city doing what I did.
Wow.
Just got a call a couple of weeks ago to hear that a young lady got a full-time position as a coordinator, and
that's really cool.
It is.
Yeah, and that's what it was all about. And, speaking of mentors, Tommy, don't be dismissed. I mean, he was a mentor. I was a heathen for 29 plus years, outside of work, right? So I always looked at the Dorsey family, and his two sons would come up to the park and do all the things that you guys did in the community with friends giving back. And they're so polite. They were like little altar boys, they were just following around. Yeah, that's right, you, Khalil.
You can say that again.
Yeah, him and Tommy, I was just like, wow. And when I heard about that explosion at Colony High School with these two young men, I was just blown away. I said, Khalil? Little Khalil?
Little Khalil. Yeah, he kept saying that too.
Yeah. And Tommy,
I was like 5'2" at the time, maybe.
Yeah. And his coaches was telling me, lightning fast, the truth.
Yeah,
I said, Khalil? Because I keep seeing that face, you know, in the Christmas time, and I still see it. But man, he's something to reckon
remember
with.
dropping him off and like not having to worry at all. Like I used to drop him off with you,
Right.
and just be Lucy was like, "Do you know? Do you know?" When the first time, I was like, "Yeah, it's Johnny. He's good."
You know, we call them the Cosby boys, the Cosby kids.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you guys are considered the Cosby kid. They don't do no wrong. They don't cuss. They shirts are tucked in. They run a touchdown. They playing ball.
Hey, was
you
your
know.
shirt tucked in?
Nah, the shirt wasn't tucked in.
Oh, come on, Khalil. I think you had a couple of plaid shirts. You know, you was looking like a model child out there, man.
Hey, I had to plaid shorts. That's for sure.
Hey, remember when you went to the beach? When you guys went to the beach?
Oh,
That
I remember.
trip.
No, I remember.
Camping. Did you ever go
Yeah,
camping?
we went to camping.
Yeah.
It was in the water and like, yeah, no,
I
it
knew
was
Tommy was serious
fun.
because he asked a lot of questions. He wanted to know about medical cards, first aid, secondary plans. He had all kind of questions. So, you know, that was good. That was super parenting, and he was so concerned about his young man leaving for the weekend, and, you know, we did a lot out there.
It was
did a lot,
community
man.
showers. It was the tent. We were sleeping in the tents in the sleeping bag. So uncomfortable. But
Did I
hey, I
yell
had
at
a
you?
great time.
I didn't yell at you, did you?
Nah, I
Because
don't
I
think
yelled at
so.
a lot of kids. Go to bed. It's Friday.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't sleep on Friday night. They would stay up all night.
Everyone was
staying up.
jittery though. Like I think we just made s'mores or something like
Yeah.
that. And you was telling us to go to sleep, but everybody was all riled up.
Yeah, whatever.
Just had sugar.
Exactly.
And
So I was
it was
like,
crazy because I was trying to keep the boys out the girls' tent. It was the
Yeah.
girls trying to go in the boys' tent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it really like that?
Well, I
At
mean,
that age?
I mean, put it this way.
Yeah.
You know, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I got to go to the men's room. I'm like, I'm hearing some noise. What are you doing? And you know, and so I said I couldn't sleep on Friday night. I had to watch 24/7 because I couldn't come home with no news because they didn't play that in the
Now,
neighborhood.
what did you bring anything into like? What?
I was just gonna say, he said he didn't sleep. That's a lie.
You can't be snoring.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone knew when Johnny was asleep. It was no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
The truth comes out. The truth comes out.
He said I had to be up 24/7. 24.
Hey, you know what? Y'all probably caught me sleeping for a few minutes, but I was on alert. Now, the next day on those boats, because I used to take the kids out on the boat, and they were taking pictures of me sleeping.
Yeah,
on the boat.
yeah,
What a
yeah.
supervision, huh?
Yeah.
That's why I told you I was forced out the
That
city.
was more like it, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds right. Yeah, that sounds right.
So also, what we found out about you too is that you can cook. Your barbecue skills. I remember the first time. I remember you and Tommy went wild on it.
Talking about when we get the plate over there at Bombay, I think it was.
Yeah. The brisket.
Oh yeah, annual barbecue. We used to do that at the city, which actually how the barbecue business started.
Yeah.
Cooking for the fundraisers every year to raise money for
That
the
is
community.
right. He has his own barbecue business as well. My bad. I forgot about that.
And it was birthed actually from putting all these little barbecue pits together to have enough pits to cook for all the crowds.
So how did you get started with the cooking? Have you always been cooking?
Family business, a tradition. You know, we grew up I was born in Texas. We had a barbecue spot in Compton called the Big Pen. And, you know, we was all excited.
So it was a family business?
It was a family business. And everybody was excited. And, you know, we got a family business restaurant. It was good. And then after about 2 or 3 weeks, it became like a mandate to come to work. And I was like, I got to get myself fired. I went to my stepfather and said, you know, football getting ready to start. He said, what that got to do with anything? They don't play all night. You can work when you get home.
Work when you get home, right?
And really, it's a true story. And it just got a quick burnout. It's a rough business. Still is. But it's a fun business.
Fun. Now, do you make what do you cook? Let's go there.
Everything when from the head to the toe.
Okay.
From the pig head to the pig tail.
What's your main recipe? What is it that everybody say? I need you to cook this.
The mac and cheese and the smoked meat, because the way the pits are made now, it's easy to cook. So basically, the marination, right? So that's prior to cooking. So we cook to our event. We don't cook just to be cooking in terms of a restaurant, because if you don't run out of food, you know, and then you got to serve it the next day, or you have too much food, you eating somebody's leftovers. We have no leftovers because everything you eat from Thompson, Texas barbecue is fresh. Because we cooking for a particular, event. So it's a little different.
Texas barbecue.
That's just a little plug. Thompson, Texas barbecue. Go to the web.
TTV?
Yeah.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah. But it's just a lot of fun. And the mac and cheese, you just learn over the years, it's passion. Sports, what you do in Christ. Yeah. Anything God said you do in passion, with a vision, He's going to bless it. And, it's that my gift is cooking.
Yeah. Man, your gift is cooking and the gift of gab.
And the gift of
the gab.
You know what? People
Johnny
used to say
talk,
that.
Boy. Johnny
we know.
I see him at the gym, when you go to the gym with him.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, how you doing over there? How you doing? You good? You good? He knows that.
Hey, get one set in. How you doing over there? All the way across.
Don't mess with him with his sets. I got to get him. He on the sets.
He on his sets?
Oh, he on his sets. He don't talk on him too much on the sets. It's afterwards. While you pumping, he like, man, he get it in. He will start talking.
You too, though. Tommy, be serious, boy. I think we had a workout a week ago with a military style lady friend of ours. I mean, he was working on us so bad.
Sergeant.
We call her the Sarge. She was working on us so hard. And she's like, "Come on, you guys, come on." And he was calling Tommy's name, and Tommy's like, "That's not my name." It was crazy.
I started moving away. Like I'm gonna go over here and do my sets.
Was she like a trainer? She your friend or something?
Yeah, she in our Bible group, and her name is Straw.
Albert's girl.
Yeah,
Albert was training us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but she came along, and man.
I was feeling sorry for her because I was like, in hell we back in the day.
Oh,
you was running so much,
just simple.
You gonna kill that boy.
Hey, that's why he looking skinny now.
Tommy was 1 and out. We was both 1 and out.
Oh man, we were gone, right?
We quit the team. We walked away.
we were like looking at her. We started naming her.
I was like, let's fake an injury.
Hey, little she'll you run for your money. You know good shape.
Hey, I get tired easy. I don't know what to tell you.
She'll get you run for your money. I told her something wrong with her, man.
I was like, and it wasn't lightweight. She wasn't. You can't say, "Oh, she's doing lightweight." She was
doing Pilates. She was one-hand push-ups, and she was looking at us getting mad. Come on,
you guys got to keep going, keep going. Come on, let's go. I'm like, no.
I'll say, you realize this is LA Fitness. We can leave anytime we want
to. So I know when you're done because your attitude comes out. I'm done. No, I'm okay.
Hey, you right. Because I never heard Tommy really just get aggressive. Yeah. And he was like this. He said, "Tommy, come on." He was like this. That's not my name.
He said 15 turned into 5 real quick.
Right. I mean, you about 4 people. It was 4 of us, right?
Yeah. Well,
that more than Andrea.
Yeah, it was 4. Huh? 5.
And and Albert kept looking at us like, "Sorry, Fred."
Albert, man. Sorry, Fred. Kept saying, "Sorry, Fred. Sorry, Fred."
And she said,
"I hope they watch this. I hope they watch this."
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
So who was your motivation? When you said cooking was your family, your motivation for what you gave to the community? Like, what was that motivation? Because it seemed like it was so natural for you. Like, you did it. You just did it. You didn't even think about it because that's where
no hesitation, no nothing. Just like
because I remember when we went into that community and dropped those toys off.
Oh yeah, that's burnt into my
gangsters.
No, like because it was crazy because we rolled up and everybody runs away.
Yeah,
and then we were saying, "Hey, we got free toys." Johnny come out the car. "Hey, we got free toys. Just hey, bring your kids. This and that." And they're like. Free?
Then two dudes
everybody coming out the trailers, just everybody.
Oh, this like out of the
and we was tossing toys and like giving it to them. There was a bunch of people. I said, "Oh, that's pretty cool."
You just did it like for me.
We did it. It wasn't a me thing. It was a we thing. And as Khalil mentioned, you guys were coming out there, really contributing to the community and helping, showing love, and that's what really drives is when one or more gather.
Yes,
that's when we know he's in the presence.
It was like five car deep, cars deep.
I remember that. Yeah.
Right, we just bringing toys.
Yeah,
and I think the young people decided, hey, this is okay. I don't mind sharing. I don't mind giving. And you seen what other people were receiving, and they were feeling good because it's even just our toys. You guys did this year round. Book packs and things like that. And that certain kids need. But for me, growing up in Compton was so tough, even though we had a great community, but things were taken, by the community and the way situations were taking place. And I didn't want that when I moved over to Bonneview in the community center, it was kind of like the same element, but it had to stop. In my head, it was like a lean on me moment.
Got you.
Do you remember Joe Clark? Got to see the movie, youngster. Lean on me. You got to see it. It's a true story in New York where the school was shut down through gangs and all type of violence, and Joe Clark turned this whole thing around. That was my mentor in terms of saying, hey, I can do this here or die trying. Yeah. And many times I called my mom and I told her, I said, Mom, I think I'm gonna make it home today.
Cause you went to the hood, Ontario. Like there's some.
They said, this is my video. You're gonna be leaving in the box today. And I was in there crying in my office. The people in the city, I said, I don't think I'm going to make it home. I was out there talking big and bad. Oh, I'll take you to take it to the room. Take it to the room. You know, but you ain't going to stop the little kids here from growing. Yeah, I'm not here for you. I'm here for them. And that's what I said. Okay, you 16, 18, you done been to juvie, you back and forth with the stuff and drugs and all this. You just tearing things up. They broke in the community center, Khalil, like 10 times and stole everything we had. I bring something, they steal it. Yeah. And they kept doing it, and then later grants came and opportunity came, y'all came, and growth came. Yeah. But it was a rough beginning. Yeah. Like anything in life, drinking water. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta keep going. Gotta keep going. Keep drinking the water.
I had an opportunity this year to meet one of the ladies, young ladies who was in the program and received toys from us. And she goes, I know you don't remember me. She's working there now. I know you don't remember me, but I remember the program. Whatever you need from me, like she's opened the door, she's helping, getting the toys in. That was a special moment too, But
well, let me ask you a question. What was it like for you to be invited every year to the volunteer banquet where the city would honor outstanding volunteers, and everybody knew the Dorsey family?
Yeah. And they would all remember
when you got the award on stage.
I think got the award on stage. The fair on this. Yeah, but then they had a dinner.
Oh, okay.
Your mom and I went to.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an honor, man.
He was always at the top of the list, and you know what? In the city of Ontario, they would scrutinize the list from some time. Look, this person, I don't know, but when his name popped up, they was all in favor. Yeah. No, I'm serious. Yeah. I ain't doing this for the tape. They were all, if I remember that, it was just a positive effect that you had on other people outside of myself in the community, man, that you guys served, really.
That was because of you.
Well, and each man
carries his own bag. Remember Captain Williams?
Who?
Captain Williams.
Derek Williams.
Yeah, Derek.
Yeah, Derek. Man, he won't golf with me, but I know.
Every time I see him, this was a while back.
He's a chief.
He would come up to me and say, "Your kids ever need something."
Yeah, Derek's
Your
true.
Your kids ever need something.
He true.
And then when kids graduated high school.
Buff dude? Semi-buff dude?
Yeah,
Black dude?
Black dude tall. You met him before.
He was a chief of police?
Yeah, chief.
I remember.
Yeah, you know DW?
Yeah, he every time said, your kids need a job. Where your kids at? Like when he would see me.
He's pro-community.
You need a job yet?
He's cool, and what's happening right now is that there's a lot of people from my high school that are going there. There's some good people, Messiah, Michael Dean, like some known people that are going
Michael Dean's in there?
Yeah, Michael Dean's in Ontario PD, and I think my friend Eyes, he's trying to get into there too, and he went to our high school. He's a real cool dude, real chill dude. He's actually working correctionals right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he said he's trying to switch over, come to Ontario PD. Correctional. I was like, what happened? I said correctional. Oh, all right, but yeah, he just said that he's trying to go over there. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Derek is real huge. He's real huge on community and promoting people, any way he can. Yeah. And he's always done that. And even though he's not connected, per se on the hourly or salary with Ontario, he's still
involved.
In fact, he wrote a letter of recommendation for my son David. For college.
Oh, did he?
And he really don't know David. Yeah. I just called him and he put something together. I need your title on this paper.
The name.
Yeah. I need your title on this paper.
Just sign here. All right.
Chief of police.
For Khalil. We need to get a letter for Khalil.
Yeah, he'll put a letter together all day long.
Put a letter together.
Khalil may have to put a letter for him now. He in the lead,
baby. Okay, so you retired. You did your thing there. Now, what are you into?
Well,
besides the cooking, you're still doing that, but what?
or I guess it's not a secret any longer. Doing my 29 years with the city, having 3 kids at the time, it was tough financially. So I had to find another income.
Gotcha.
So I went to your concept that I know drinking water, and I was introduced to the insurance business.
Okay.
By a very good friend of mine. We're still friends. He's a pastor in Atlanta. In fact, I'll be seeing him in a couple weeks.
Okay.
He drove a Peugeot. Now I
You
know
what a
what's
Peugeot?
that? You said French. It's a
car.
French car. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
And he was at the Bank of America, and I seen
Not
it.
that nice.
Man, it was a square. It looked like a Mercedes or a Volvo, but it had that real cool diesel sound.
Had the diesel sound.
Yeah.
It's one of those cars.
It's a French car.
It's
Like
a
an
French
old school car?
Old school car. They run forever.
Yeah.
But they just don't look great.
Well, I'm gonna show you a picture of this '88 Peugeot. Had the nice wine collar seats.
To each his own.
I never owned it. I wanted to, but the city of Ontario said, "Hey, wait, you're a coordinator. I don't even drive a Peugeot. Get you a Pinto."
Yeah, it's expensive though.
He said, "Go get you." No, it's a true story.
Yeah.
Captain Bill Alexander was in charge, and he said, "Get a Pinto." So, long story short, a gentleman was driving that Peugeot at the Bank of America, and I inquired about it. And he said, "Well, come over your house, and I'll show you how I got this car." He was a corporate auditor from Miller's Outpost, and he did insurance part time.
Okay.
So he introduced me to Prime America. At the time, it was called A.L. Wims.
Okay.
And so I started there and built up a pretty sized base shop. So if anybody's in a multi-level marketing
Yeah.
and people tell you it's a pyramid, that's false.
Okay.
Everything's a pyramid in life.
Yeah.
No matter where you at. Even in the league, they got owners, they got president,
They got something, yeah,
then they got
yeah,
players. It
yeah.
all goes down, right?
Gotcha.
So that's how I started.
Okay, so with insurance. So what type of insurance? Is it car insurance? Is it?
Well, at the time, it was strictly life insurance with Prime American. And, we were training people
Okay.
and out in, like we're doing here at a table
Yeah.
and discussing people's financial plan and
Yeah.
setting up, life insurance
Oh, so you
plans.
did financial plans too?
Right. Well,
Okay.
but when you're doing life insurance, it's kind of like you're illustrating some kind of financial concept to a family,
Okay.
whatever their end goal is. But the way we did it was a cookie cutter.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
didn't know what we were doing. Hey, just sign here. Here's $100. Just
Yeah.
how much do you need? It's only $4 a month. So at the time, it was reckless. But it was an avenue that opened up the door for interest because the word insurance is always poison. Somebody knock on the door and they say, "I'm selling insurance," you close the door on them, right?
Yeah, most likely.
Right?
Yeah.
And
I ain't even gonna answer.
Ain't gonna even answer. You're like, "I'm eating dinner. I don't care
Yeah.
what you selling. You ain't selling here today."
Yeah.
So I got the door slammed in my face more than many times, right?
Yeah.
But the end of the day, I started to get into it because I can see where not only it was an opportunity to feed the family, but I can see where I can help other people
Gotcha.
and help myself.
Yeah.
Just like the city. It had to be a two-way street.
Yes. Yeah.
Just couldn't be all in on one end. It has to be on the other end too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's how I got started.
So is it mainly life insurance now? What
No,
is it?
no, I do employer benefits. So basically what I go in, I'm a broker.
Okay.
So I'm versatile
Okay.
in a way that I can go in and offer medical insurance for employees,
Okay.
set up their 401k, their dental, their workman comp, anything has to do with the operation of that business from a benefit standpoint. That's what I do. Now I know it sounds like, man, look, this is simply just, I'm a shopper.
Oh, so you're the
this
middleman.
sweatshirt, yeah, I'm the middleman. I'm just a shopper.
Yeah. So they'll go to you, and then you'll shop for everything, and then tell them here's what it is.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Got
So
it.
it ain't like I'm creating these
So is it a small
elaborate
company or a
plans.
big company that you go to? Is it?
Awesome. That's a good question. Small and big. So
Okay.
we start off from 2 employees all the way up to 200 to 1,000. I don't have
Okay.
1,000.
So you set up their benefit package,
Right.
so to speak.
So let's say Khalil Enterprises, right? Do you have a question?
No, go ahead.
Khalil Enterprises, he's got 10 employees,
Yeah.
and he wants to keep those employees. He want to retain them at Khalil Enterprises, and he want to offer benefits. Nobody want to go to work if they don't have any benefits.
Yeah.
You can pay them whatever you want to pay them, but the end of the day, they want benefits for their family, medical, dental, vision, things like that, right? So he want to keep those employees. I come in and show him the proposal. Here's Blue Shield, here's Kaiser, here's United Healthcare, here's Aetna, all on one sheet of paper.
Gotcha.
And this way he can say, well, I'm going to contribute X amount of money to each employee.
Yeah.
The rest they'll pay on their own.
Yeah.
So we set up all the payroll deductions for them. Then they handle with their payroll company, and we're off to the races. That's it.
Okay.
So then, after Khalil Enterprises is already insured, one of his employees has a problem with medical. They can't do this. They can't navigate this. Or They got a claim that wasn't paid. Then they call our office.
Yeah.
And I work with what we call partners associations, and they help us litigate or mitigate any problems that they have. Anybody can sell insurance.
Yeah.
All you need is a license.
Yeah.
40 hours of education.
Man, I don't
40
know.
hours.
Can you sell insurance?
It's not selling, it's marketing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can. You got a personality like yours? Look, everybody need it. So you got a company, a construction company.
This is true.
That's true.
Everybody
You got
does need it.
a mobile carpet cleaning, whatever your business is.
Can't even get a car without insurance now. Gotta have insurance.
Right. And you know, for medical, in order to track any employee, what's my benefit package look like? Isn't that one of the questions that you
that's
asked
one of
when you
the-
went to work for your job?
Yeah.
What does my benefit package look
Yeah,
like?
with my benefit package.
You know?
We compare benefit packages all the time.
Exactly.
My nephew's going to go to, he's moving to another job, and we say, hey, the benefit package is way better over here. You need to move.
There it is.
And it's a lateral move, but it's just another department you're going to.
And employers fight for that space. They
Yeah.
fight for that benefit. Who's got the better benefits? And a lot of my groups, that's what they do on open enrollment or prior to open enrollment, or if they just been introduced as a new venture. Then we send these different packages up, and that's the first thing we let them know. Listen, you're going to attract better employees for your business, and they'll have a better probability of staying with you if the benefits are there.
That's true. That's true.
I want some benefits. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So my question for we're going to excuse me, the life insurance part of it. Why life insurance?
That's a good question. Well, life insurance is needed. This is what I call one size doesn't fit all. So life insurance have many different factors. And as I said, in my early part of my career, I sold life insurance, and it was term. So here's the magic word, term insurance. You know why people like term?
Why?
I'm glad you said why. Because it's less expensive. I was going to say, well, we know it as cheap.
Yeah.
That means it could be Prudential, it could be New York Life, but term insurance is term. It runs for a term. So it can run from 5 years to 20 years to 30, depending on what you sign up for.
Okay.
So how old are you, Khalil?
About to be 25.
Okay, that's young, right?
You know when you're going to be 25? Ask him.
That's today or yesterday?
Ask him when he's going to be 25.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Boy, you're going to be the first one to get some of that barbecue. Come on now. Come on now. You get to eat second. Happy early, youngster.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
You're going to get some sides to go with it, too.
Something for the road.
Yeah, you know that's right. Mama going to need some of that barbecue, too.
Man.
So term insurance, at a 25-year-old, let's say for $100,000. This is good. $100,000. Something. Okay. If he takes a vacation, his future wife will use that, or his current wife will use that. She'll receive $100,000.
Yeah.
His premium will cost him about $12 a month.
Okay.
Yeah, $12.
Yes.
For $100,000.
Yeah.
Because he's so young. Now you, my friend.
How much is going to cost me, Johnny?
For the same.
How much is going to cost me, Johnny?
Number one.
Over 5.
For you.
All right, first you got to get this. First you got to get the physical.
Well, that's a good question.
It's going to say, damn.
Now, do you think he got to get a physical? Probably not.
No, he does.
Well, no, because he's young. And at 25.
I got mine at 25.
But guess what?
What?
You get insurance?
On term. Oh, yeah. On
I got a term.
Don't tell your kids you got life insurance. You may not make it home. Hey, especially if they know your term is going to end. When is this policy up? I don't tell my kids what I got. They'll know when I'm gone.
Oh, man, that's
You
all
better
bad.
go find it.
They got to know.
Hey, don't tell your kids how much life insurance you have. You're going to come up short.
Tell them.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
Let them know where all the paperwork is at.
Nah,
Let them know where the paperwork's at. Just don't tell them.
Don't tell them how much. Let them know where
Don't
the
tell them
paperwork
where the paperwork is either, because they're going to go check. I'll be catching my kids going upstairs looking off. What you looking for?
Your policy.
Run me my money.
They'll find it.
And when he gets sick, they're like, ooh, let's start looking.
Then I'll tell them.
They start looking.
Then I'll tell them.
How bad is that cough?
They be trying to pull the plug on you early, won't they? I just came in.
They won't even have a plug. They're like, oh, no, you don't need to hook him up.
Doctor, don't resuscitate. He just broke his leg. I need my money. They already got that money spent for you gone.
Okay, so Going to term has you said 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, or however
30,
long it is.
right?
30.
Normally a 30-year term is as long as you can get.
Okay.
So after 30 years, that's it. You don't get any. There's no cash
Can I
value.
go back to the original question?
Yeah.
Why life insurance?
Protection.
Okay.
Life insurance is straight protection for your loved ones. For example, your children, your mortgage, future education, your spouse. You know, you got to think about this. You earn an income and you pay bills every month, right?
Yeah.
If that income is absent, for whatever the reason is, indefinitely absent, then somebody's going to be affected.
That's true.
Back in the day, we got to go live with Aunt Sarah. Daddy didn't have no life insurance.
Daddy didn't have any life
insurance.
Yeah.
You know, then you got to embark on people or go down to the shelter, right?
Yes.
Now, there's nothing wrong with that. And although I'm laughing about it, at the end of the day, you have to make a decision as an adult when you have a family to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have any children, it's not a purpose for any young person to have life insurance if their parents are help taking care of a 25-year-old, 26-year-old, and are not taking care of them. That parent still should carry life insurance on that 25-year-old. Okay. Until they get married and start having their own thing, then they'll get it on their own.
I just learned that too, because that's what I learned, that every parent, or this is what I've been told, every kid should have life insurance.
Right.
Even no matter their age, they should have life insurance.
When they come of age, though.
When they come
of age and doing their own thing, in other words, when they come of age and they don't have any children, they're not married.
Yes.
And you may ask them, son, daughter, do you have coverage? No. Then you better get some, because guess what? If they take a vacation by any airplane, whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's hard dealing with a loss.
Yeah.
Think about if you have to set the table. How are we going to do this? Let's go pass the cup around.
Yeah.
And that's not a good, one thing is never pleasant, collecting a check like that. And I've delivered several of them in my career. And it's not always one of them was a party. I think the family was waiting out in the corner. Because back in the day, it was a Thomas guy and I got lost.
Like, where is he at?
Is that him?
Yeah, there was no cell phone back in the day. You just had to wait.
On the porch, rocking chair? Yeah, I already know.
I remember that one up in Upland, boy.
Oh, my bad.
And she got that face amount check. It was a lump sum.
Yeah.
And invited me over about 2 months later for a party. And it was a really nice party, a few upgrades in the house. I didn't think anything of it. And about 2 weeks later, she gave me a call, said, hey, are you sure that was it? I said, what do you mean, Mrs. Such and Such? Is there any more money? I said, no.
That's it.
I explained that when I delivered the check.
Yeah.
And she said, God, that didn't last long. Well, I don't know. You know, added an old wing upstairs, got a piano nobody plays.
Yeah, that's so.
Your son is 13, got a brand new car out there.
Brand new car.
It goes like this. So you have to have wise planning, and to be a good agent, an agent will sell you anything, right?
Yeah. Mm.
So $100,000, his will cost about $8, $10 a month, right? At his age, yours will cost about
30 years.
About 20-year term. So after 20 years is gone. The reason I'm saying that is comparing to you at your age. Let's say
I'm 51.
All right, thank you for being honest. Transparency is the key here. So at 51, you're going to pay about $40 a month, $45 for $100,000.
Okay.
Depending on if you pass the blood pyramid in the urine. So
you're not looking at me, you're looking at you.
Yeah, because of the age difference, they may require blood and urine. Yes. It depends on the carrier.
When I said physical, that's what we have.
So that's what term life. Term is only good for young people for a short term.
Okay.
And keep in mind, once it's over and you get older, you could probably acquire, high blood pressure, weight gain, or some other diseases that prevent you from buying life insurance. Or if you do get it, it's going to cost you more money.
Gotcha.
So it's important to come in already what they call whole life.
Whole life.
Whole life. You know why they call it whole life?
Why they call it
whole life?
Think about it. You pay for it your whole life. It never runs out. As long as you pay the premium,
you got it.
You got it. So it's much more the wiser choice for the consumer, whole life, but then there's different types of whole life. For example, whole life has what they call cash value. This is universal life, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's a combination between a whole life and a term. In other words, it doesn't run out. Sometimes it's not as expensive depending, but there's a little bit of cash value. If you miss a day paying the policy from laid off from work, some of that money that you've been putting in the policy, it'll carry the policy until that money runs out.
That's what I've been reading this book regarding whole life insurance and how it works and how rich families back in the days. It's the Rockefeller way.
Yeah.
And it talks about that. That's kind of what got me
Right.
wanting to do this podcast with you is I'm learning about life insurance and how important it is. And I was talking to people at work and saying that I didn't know these things, right? I knew, I got term, but I didn't know what came along with the whole life, and I should have got whole life for my kids, because you could use that cash value for something. From what I read, and then there's a person at work who, when they got laid off, she survived off that. Her family survived off the whole life until she was able to get back on her feet, and then she still pays into the premium. She goes, it's still good. Right. I didn't have to pay the money back. She goes, but it's not. At least in the book, it says they don't recommend you not pay the money back because you're just paying yourself and you're funding your whole life insurance.
Well, she doesn't realize that money.
It's going to be at the end. It's taken off.
Well, that's right. That too, and that money that she took was her money anyway.
Yeah, that's what
she
they said.
overpaid in the policy,
Overpaid,
and they all work their way. Look, insurance companies are not here to glorify you. They're not here to say, you're such a nice guy, I just want to make sure, and lady, that you have, excuse me, all the insurance owners out there, but we're going to be honest, right?
Yeah.
But you have to have the mind of understanding how it works. Okay. And it's not that complicated when you realize that, hey, you pay a premium, it's going to pay the life insurance, and then there's some additional thing called cash value. Guess what? In this whole life, let's say for $100,000 for Khalil, on the term he's paying $12 a month, and this he'll be paying like $62 a month.
Okay.
So he's overpaying about $45 for the same amount of coverage of $100,000. So that $40 a month adds up over 12-month period, right?
Yes.
So he should be able to go back in his whole life policy and say, well, I need $80.
Yeah.
Well, it's not there because it takes 3 years,
to
for it to accumulate.
Yeah.
He better off taking that money to the Bank of America and just get term. That's how Prime America got started. Buy term and invest the difference because it's cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
So for his age, term works.
Got you.
Right?
Yeah.
But then when he starts to age into a relationship, into a marriage, into equity and property and things of that nature, then we need to go to whole life. And then as he really want to be industrious, he can go to universal life. And the last one is what we call an IUL.
Okay.
That's what you call the index universal life. Now, I prefer this one as an investment strategy and a protection strategy.
I never heard of that one.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it either.
Yeah, the IULs.
Can we go to what this one is and then go to the last one?
Okay, universal life. Universal. That means that if you don't have the money to pay the premium, there should be enough money in that policy to pay it as long as there's money in the balance. So you don't have to make a monthly payment all the time in case you miss one. So it's universal.
Gotcha.
Right? Okay. So it's not a very much cash value, and it's a flat interest rate.
Okay.
And the flat interest rate normally is about 1.5% to 2%. That's it.
Still better than
it won't grow.
Yeah.
But check this out. Any question about universal life? But you can still get a face amount. Now, face amount means if I leave from this earth, how much will it pay? That's up to you.
Gotcha.
And you'll figure that out, what we call a need analysis on how much life insurance you need.
Okay.
You may have 2 Lamborghinis you want to protect, a mortgage, some grandkids, and you say, I'm going to put all that down as...
Oh, you're a dad?
Yeah.
For what?
You want to figure out how much you need.
Yeah.
And that'll tell you how much the face amount is. In other words, what's the lump sum that I can get to protect my interest, right?
Gotcha.
Okay. Now we're going to go to the IUL, the index.
Okay.
This is when the company, what they call the Index Universal Life, invests in the S&P, the Standard & Poor's Index. So the 500 top stock companies, all Nike, big companies, right? All those 500 Fortune companies, you take a percentage of the index, not on each company, on the overall
so it's
equity
like
index.
It's like buying an index fund.
That's it.
Oh.
It's the index.
I did not know.
And the average index has been 10.6 over 30 years of interest. Where you gonna get that? 10. This is what the banks put their money in.
So
other than stock and mutual funds, IULs.
IULs.
Everybody.
So it's life insurance and it's like investing for yourself?
Right. Right. Well, what it is life insurance, and you can overfund the cash value of this policy up to a limit per year. So the IRS has a code that you can only put X amount of money in there because you get a higher interest return. See what I'm getting at?
Oh.
What's the premium? I'm sorry. Let me let you finish. Go ahead.
Yeah. So an index is based on this. Where we see that curve. So as the stock market goes up, you get paid. When it go down, you don't get paid.
Yeah.
But guess what? It never goes at the floor rate below 2%.
Okay, gotcha.
So you're gonna get your two. You don't lose
still
all
get-
of
That's
it.
still over one. It's still over one.
You're still
So
better
Oh,
than
you
me.
see that? He's a college graduate.
Yeah.
So are you. What's happening
Not
here?
yet, but we getting there. We getting there.
Right? You got to
So
eat it or something.
why? So if this is the smartest choice, why doesn't everybody just do this instead of doing the rest?
Well, number one, people normally shop for price, right?
Yeah.
So you have a family, let's say, with a meager income of a certain amount of money per year. It may scare them to probably pay more money on life insurance in an index than it would be to pick up a term policy for pennies on the dollar.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Term is going to be a more attractive number, and you're going to look at, well, if something happens in less than 30 years, you're going to get $100 grand. Don't worry about it, honey.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
As long as I don't get sick.
Yeah.
You know, after 30. Because if I get sick after 30 years and try to get insurability, guess what? Life insurance is based on your age.
Yeah.
That's why get it when you're young, right? If you wait till like my age is 63, and I have it
You
obviously,
start
but
having little, just little things.
you're paying 10 times the amount.
Yeah.
10 times. For me to be covered the right way, if I, it would cost me like probably $600 a month
Yeah.
for 200,000. Where it would cost you $70 or $60.
That sounds fantastic.
You see what I'm
So
saying?
you buy it while you're young.
Yeah.
You get your index universal life.
with the life, I heard that you pull money from your life insurance, if you get what I'm saying. So like if you were to overfund it, like you were
Right.
saying, can you pull money out of it? Like say you're in a tight bind,
Sure.
you just need to get like maybe some groceries or something. Like, can you pull from your life insurance?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You can pull from either one of the IUL or the universal life or the whole life if it's in there. Normally the whole life
too?
Yeah, but the universal life is so low, it's
Okay.
normally not any cash value there.
Okay.
Because there's no overfunding. But to answer your question,
So I
You can
got
pull money.
I'm gonna interrupt real quick because I had this conversation with someone at work, and we were talking about whole life insurance. I said, "Yeah." I told him, "Are we going to interview you?" I said, "But I thought you were more conservative since you don't recommend like if you do need it, don't pull." I thought you
you
were
don't.
gonna say that.
The question was, can you? And the answer is yes. Do I recommend it? Absolutely not.
Okay.
Have you? Charles Gibbons was a renowned, famous financial planner, and I learned from him many years ago. And one of the things that I learned: have you an emergency fund, which we call mattress money.
Yeah.
Just don't let them know what mattress is under.
So you got to buy more mattresses.
Nah, man. Mattress
That's
I
what they did
gotta
in the old
go.
day. They would put it in baby jars and put it all around the house, right?
Yeah.
That's your emergency fund, right?
Yes.
And then have your protection plan, your IUL. If you want to start a business, let's say in 4 or 5 years you got IUL and you've been overfunding it.
Yeah.
And you say, you know what, I'm going to take some of that money out. The interest is good, and I'm going to go ahead and do this and do that. Then I'll put it back.
Yeah.
Or I'll just let it go and don't worry about it because IUL, you're still making that payment, whatever that is flat.
As long as you keep the payment going. Yeah.
So, and some owners of businesses will overfund an IUL account.
Yes.
And sometimes, government, if you're listening, they don't always catch it. But the insurance company has these audits every now and then. Say, hey, Mr. Johnson, you've got too much money in your IUL. You can't make another contribution. Just leave it alone. Just pay your monthly payment.
Yeah.
But do not overflow your cash because guess what? You're still earning interest
Yes.
on that index, on the equity index.
Equity index.
And it's something. It ran 8%. I mean, it's been pretty sorry lately.
Yeah, it's been sorry lately, but it's still above what you're gonna get at a bank.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Two's better than one, and eight's better than two. So
Right.
I mean, I feel like everything's better than because you have it in the bank, but it's not really working for you. It's just gonna be there for
The bank ain't designed to work for you. The bank is designed for quick transactions. It's not designed for any long-term or short-term investment opportunity, and it's liquid. In other words, you can get to it real quick,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So it's only for our common folks, but banks don't even put their money in banks.
Yeah, yeah.
They put it in real property or they put it in certain policies. But this is not, it's better if you're going to invest.
Yeah.
Invest in something you can control.
Yes. Yeah.
Rather than saying, man, the stock market crashed, now I crashed.
So,
but it's a freedom of choice.
What the conversation has been lately is that trying to get people to, for me, like, main reason why I'm doing this podcast is to educate.
Sure.
Educate.
That's
Not only get your journey out, but also in that part is educate people and try to get them at least have this conversation in their family. Because there's people that I know who are well off and they got grandkids. You may not be able to afford this whole life insurance, but you could buy it for your grandkids.
Right.
You could buy it for your kids who are younger and start funding them that way. And that's how you create that generational wealth for them.
That's true.
And so that's my main reason for this. Yeah, this is the importance of whole life insurance and trying to educate people when it comes to the life insurance. So,
that's good.
Because I didn't know that there was multiple kinds. I just thought so when people say life insurance, what I had thought is it's literally life insurance, and there's like the different brands for life insurance, but they're all doing the same thing. So that's what I thought. That's like me coming into this. Right. I'm like, okay, this makes a lot more sense.
Johnny, I want to encourage them to buy life insurance early.
Right.
Do it now. Even Tommy that doesn't have, he's not making as much. He can still afford it. Even if it's, you said $60, $70.
Right. No, they definitely, I would recommend term because
term for them?
They do not have any they don't have any short-term immediate protection other than themselves.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, mom and dad is in case, whatever, right? Then that's there. But if they're looking to invest or try to put something in the money market, then do that. Just don't worry about life insurance. Just go to the money market fund.
So you wouldn't recommend it for somebody his age that make his income that has property and all that?
Well, I would for IUL.
Okay, that's what
absolutely, because he's young enough now. If he do it now, it's just like having an annuity. If you get a good annuity and set up kind of like what OJ did, annuity? That is a type of savings plans like 401k or 401b. Okay. It's set up for an individual to set up an annuity where they can actually get X amount of money. Don't touch it. That's your annuity. Just keep funding that annuity, right? Yeah. And it'll be a flat rate. Or,
man, the amount of saving they've been having me do.
It's the NFL. They take it out of one check. So they max them out of one check.
That's good.
That's how I put it. So this past season, I didn't set it that way. I did like a 50-50. I did half, so half my check would go because I was like, I still need some walk around change.
You got that, man.
Boy, what?
So upset, Johnny.
I looked at
they took that much
direct deposit. Look at my direct deposit. I was like,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I said, Johnny.
I went to the lady directly. I went to the lady as soon as I saw that. I went to the lady. I was like, "Hey, y'all ain't give me my check." She was like, "What did you write down for your 401k?" And I was like, "I just said max it out." It's like, well,
give me some skin for you on there. I'm dead serious because you know what? This is smart.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If you're struggling right now, no matter what your income is, people think because you're a professional athlete or an actress or an actor, what have you, you still have high expenses.
Yeah.
And and taxes and everything else will go along with that baby, right? Yeah. So it's always best they say 10 to 15% of your disposable income should be used for your retirement, and that's smart. Yes. And don't touch it. It does not exist.
But what was cool is that when they do take it out, say I only needed to pay off a certain amount of number, the rest of it gets taxed as if I just got that, and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." Say it went from 16 to 8 or something like that.
Right.
Just you just get taxed on the 8 instead of being taxed on the full 16. Yeah. So it's like that's kind of cool. I was like, "All right, I like that better."
Yeah, because they have a cafeteria set up where you actually are taxed after the deductions, and it lowers your disposable income, and that's what they're taxing you on a lower amount worse than the gross.
Yes.
And that's good.
Yeah, they're going to get their tax money when you take it out.
Yeah, I heard. Right. So I've heard.
Wait till you're old and great like us. I like your dad. Don't worry about it because guess what? You know what? You can always.
Like
hey, your neck snap real quick too.
But it makes a lot of sense. And, we can't be in a rush. God even says take your time and understand. And patience is a virtue.
Yes.
And, and saving money and strategizing when you're looking at life insurance, you don't have to rush into it. What makes sense is what's disposable. If when you're young, see, it's not a one size fit all. Each person is different. And the way we find that out is the last little document I have is called a life insurance need analysis, right? And
life
on that,
insurance needs analysis.
A need analysis.
Okay.
And that tells you, the consumer, I know you can't see that.
That's that small print. You're probably not going to see it. But keep going.
I'm going to explain it. Okay. So with that need analysis, it'll tell you how much do you pay for your mortgage or your rent? How much is your miscellaneous and your daily functions that you spend in your household monthly, right? What about your kids? Little Johnny want to go to college. He's 14. So you kind of factor in all these different debts that you're paying monthly.
Little Johnny.
Right?
Little Johnny.
And then you look and you say... All right.
Keep going.
Let me get back home. Go ahead. So you got a debt, and this is how much money you need if you will take a trip and then come back.
Yeah.
Or if you took a forced trip by one of your spouses, you're forced out of here.
Yeah.
And now this is what's left. Now you also look, well, I have additional life insurance at work. That's $30,000. You add that in, and you do the here. This works out the math. This tells you exactly how much you need to protect yourself.
Okay.
Like for you say, well, I got this, I got that. I want to keep my properties going. Because you're gone, you don't care about that. What you care about who's left.
Yeah.
Who's going to take care of what? For you, as a father, it's your home, it's your kids, it's whatever.
Yes.
It's how you want to be left. What's your last celebration? Maybe you want a big party. Maybe you want a gold casket. I don't know. Yeah. You put that money on there, and it'll tell you how much you need. Some people are underinsured. Some people are overinsured.
Yeah.
So this need analysis will break down and tell you from your perspective how much you need. Gotcha. This way you don't have an agent coming in. Oh, you look like you need about $100,000. You need about $200,000. Because they looking at their commission.
Yeah. Now, is that something they do with you, or they do before they come to you and they get in online?
Right.
Do they do it before they come to you?
No. When they come in, they ask these questions.
Okay.
About your personal spending habits or your debt. What you have. What are you paying for? You got credit cards? Okay. And do you want to leave your wife with all those credit cards? Do you want to leave, without taking care of little Khalil's college education? What do you want to protect? Yeah. So that's important. So give you a peace of mind that if I do leave, now keep in mind, life insurance is not long term. It's only good when somebody takes a vacation. We call it a vacation. Okay. They just don't come back. Yeah. Daddy left for me.
So you've been talking about vacation this whole time. I'm like, because I just got back from Hawaii. So I'm like, all right, so he's flying to Hawaii. And then the plane crash? Is that what he's saying?
No, I'm saying you left and you ain't coming back. Nobody going to see you again.
Come back from this vacation.
And we're going to all celebrate your vacation one time with a black suit on. Some white gloves.
He was asleep.
He slept and then woke up. And Jesus didn't go. He can wake Lazarus. He woke Lazarus up. I don't know if he can wake you up.
Yeah, I don't know if gonna wake you up.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. And it's careful to tell people this. Okay. That it's not to establish an inheritance with life insurance that people are going to live heavily after and financially. Gotcha. It's to keep you in place for 2 to 3 years. You're survivors. Okay. Particularly kids, so they won't be displaced from their school or their home. Gotcha. Now, mama never worked or daddy never worked, and at the end of the day, hey, I got 2 years to get a career. Or 3 years. Yeah. This money gonna carry me for 3 years. Gotcha. See, that's the plan. Yeah. It's not to carry you for life. Gotcha. And it's clear that professional people out there that offer benefits and coverage to explain that. Because a lot of people don't know. That's why that lady called me and says, any more money left? Yeah. Because you went out and bought pianos, you went out and bought cars, and had elaborate parties and spent all your reserves.
So let's say I want to buy life insurance now. Mm-hmm. What would be my first step? Like what would be the first step?
The need analysis.
But so you're doing that though?
Right, I do all that.
How do I find you? Like, where do I go?
You call my number 1-800-536-5610, or you can go to the website www.ghibroker.com. Gotcha. Okay. Now, what I do is sit down and just fill in the blanks. Okay. It'll print you out a scenario of coverage on how much you need. Technology changed. Yeah. Back in the day, we had to turn books and turn this and, write. What's that number? I couldn't even read your writing. What is that? Now everything is just right here. You can see it. It gives you a forecast. And then once you get that forecast out, and we look at your age, we look at your health, and we answer those questions, right? And we say, okay, well, this is a fit for this particular plan. Whether it be term, universal life, IUL, you'll know what you're fitted for based on that need analysis.
Gotcha.
And that's most important.
Okay.
That determines. Don't randomly have somebody offer you something that you don't even know what you need.
Gotcha.
You could already have coverages in place.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
You don't know.
So they'll call you. You'll do the need analysis. Now, when are these? So let's say with the term and what universal, is there different write-ups for, or is it just like a whole life? Is there?
That's a good question. You can put different writers on different policies.
Like when you say writers, like
let's say, for example, you want to put a critical illness.
Okay.
You know, they have life insurance now that you don't have to be taking a vacation to collect.
I heard that too.
So, like to say, you know, you broke your leg.
I got it now. But like, I'm trying to figure out like, what does he mean by that? So,
yeah, you was injured, you was hurt, you fell off the ladder and stuff, and now you're wheelchair bound for a minute, and you know. And you need some money, so they do an advancement or a percentage, what they call a critical illness, or injury, or accident policy supplement rider. There's all types of riders to facilitate a person's need, depending on what they do.
So riders is what they put into
the policy to give you additional coverage for additional situations, and nobody want to assume. And there are additional monies for those riders. Okay. Because there's obviously you're going to be protected in a different way. Yeah. And you have opportunity to be protected in a way, like Aflac, for example. And I'm not; those are riders, so to speak, but they're now putting those Aflac benefits on life insurance policies.
Oh, are they?
Oh, yeah. You can get all that. You can get stuff for your eye, your finger, your nose, whatever. you know.
Now, when I go into term,
you don't do no riders on term.
Okay, no riders on term. Right. Just riders on these other. Right. Okay. There's a question I had, but
somebody gonna watch and say, "You do some agent out there from State Farm. You can put a rider on the term." well, yeah, you can put your mama. You can put some other people in your family as a rider. But I'm talking about diseases or events that may happen to your person or your physical being. Those kind of riders.
Now, once I sign and have my beneficiary, can I change my beneficiary?
Anytime you want.
At any time. Okay.
Anytime you want. So you have two beneficiaries. You have a primary, that's normally a spouse or a brother or a sibling, right? And then you have what they call a contingent beneficiary. So if the primary is not around because they left with you on vacation,
they went on vacation with you.
They went on with you. Then the second,
it's clicking. It's clicking.
Then
it takes a second. Okay.
So the second person is the contingent. And that's contingent on the first is not available. So now that person is taken care of, and then you can also say, okay, well, you're leaving $100,000, you're gonna leave 50 for Tommy and 50 for Khalil, or you can leave 25 for Khalil, 25 for Tommy, and 25 for Johnny. 25 for Johnny. You can break down the percentages however you want it. Now, anytime you're doing life, get you a living trust. Don't get a will because it's going to cause you a lot of legal and financial problems, right? And probate. So get you can do this on LegalZoom.
You said trust. Remember we was talking about a trust a while ago too.
Hey John, we're going to be talking to your tax lady.
Tomorrow.
Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, this is So you know Ronnie?
Ronnie. Yeah, she's my tax lady.
Okay. Yeah. So
she's
gonna be there. She's gonna be Sunday. So we're gonna try to coordinate the time.
Okay, good. I want to put on the podcast.
Yeah, you should.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah, Ronnie is good. She's good. I love Ronnie.
So beneficiary. Man, there's another question I had. But
so with the living trust, guys, what's good about that is you can pretty much dictate how you want everything to be paid out. Hey, if you don't go to school and graduate with an A+,
you don't get living trust.
Yeah,
and it will work
in conjunction with
the life insurance.
Absolutely. So you put that in there. It's separate, but on your living trust, in order for that revocable trust to take place, they have to read that trust before any money is split up. They say, Khalil, you have to get 10 interceptions. You didn't get it, so you're gonna be negative some money. Yeah. Tommy, you got to trade.
You should hug your daddy more.
Yeah.
No.
You can put conditions on your living trust as an incentive. In other words, it's based on, when I decide to leave, my PlayStation. You still got PlayStation, don't you?
I don't.
All right.
He does.
Right. Well, in other words, your assets can be divided
Yeah.
among, and you can name this stuff out.
Okay.
And there'd be no question
Okay.
on your living trust, which is a cool thing to do. And
Yeah.
same thing with any financing, any retirement at work, and how the payout should be,
Wow.
who collects.
Okay. I didn't know the trust in that.
Go
life
to Legal
insurance I
Zoom.
had.
Legal Zoom will hook it up for you for a little bit of nothing. It's $99.
Okay. Living
I could be
trust.
lying about that. No, I think it's $300 for the living trust.
Okay.
99 to
That's
300.
so good,
That's
though.
different.
That's It's,
99 is the will, which does will you nothing. Will you a lot of problems. They be like, okay, you got a will, so what? Stand in line. You still going to probate.
Yeah.
Because somebody can contest that will. No, Khalil, Daddy didn't leave you that. He left me that football.
yeah.
Who had them old Nikes? Them old Jordans. I want them Jordans.
Got my name on it.
And it's a trip because people, they all teary-eyed during that vacation day.
Yeah.
But soon as things settle, when it come down to the money,
Oh man.
they start looking at each other. Hey, you get to
It
my
didn't happen
Khalil.
with my family, but we've had it with
They be crying.
other family where there's
Oh, Daddy
money
was
issues.
Oh Lord, what you gonna do with Daddy's car?
Yeah. Daddy can't. Hey,
What about that?
even like painting, artwork.
Artwork, all that.
I want the jewelry. I want this.
Yeah.
I want it's
And
a
somebody
trip.
always think they shortchanged. They be sitting up there at the recession and stuff, looking up there. I know you're gonna keep all that jewelry.
Yeah, always. Like even that van out there, your kids gonna fight over that van.
Oh no, they can be like, hey, well, one of them, I ain't gonna mention his name. He gonna be like, sell everything in 5 days, sell everything. Hey, you're not gonna do the barbecue business. You're not gonna do that. Sell it all.
Sell it all. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. I would like to say thank you. Can we go through one more time? How do we get in touch with you?
Right. I appreciate you asking that. Johnny Thompson, you can call me at 1-800-536-5610. We'll set up an appointment sometime on a virtual side. So you can do all this virtually. I'll send you an email and a link, and we can log on together and kind of go through whatever questions you may have. Be happy to answer any questions. If I can't answer the question, I'll refer it to one of my colleagues, right? I've been doing this for 33 plus years. I don't know it all, and I don't claim to do. But one thing I won't do, I won't guess, and I won't fabricate it. If I don't know, I'll find out.
Got you. Khalil will be giving you a call. And then, okay, so what about for catering? That business? How's that? How they
Well,
get
we're
in
all
touch
booked
with
for the
one?
year for catering right
Are
now.
you?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was finna say.
Well, you can dial the same number, actually, but no, you can dial 909-560-9193 and also log on to TexasBBQ.com to the website,
Gotcha.
and there's a tab there for catering. And, but really, we're locking it down a little bit for now because,
Okay.
we've got some things coming up that we're involved in doing. So,
Gotcha.
when we cook, we do like to cook for fun and business, but mostly for fun, as we're doing now. As you guys know, these gentlemen are going to be eating some good barbecue.
Stomach been grumbling this whole
Yeah,
time.
We're
You
gonna
know.
take some pictures. We'd like to thank you, Johnny, for educating us, actually, man. And I appreciate it, man. You've been a blessing to my life. Been a blessing to my
I
kids'
diddle that,
life.
man. I diddle that
You've been a
same.
blessing, man. God has blessed me with you being you.
Well, you encouraged me
You
with your
real.
goodness, Tommy, really.
I appreciate
Because I was crooked for a long time. I didn't say I'm completely straight, but I'm working on it. You know what I mean?
As we all are.
But I thank you guys for having me, and I know drinking water. I love that those words, drinking water, and it means so much to me because that's important for people to understand that you have to continue to drink water. And no matter what the situation is, you're gonna be thirsty.
Yes,
Keep drinking.
you're gonna be thirsty. All
Keep
right,
drinking.
guys.
Don't
God
quit.
bless. God
Like
bless
that.
everybody.
Thank you. God bless.
Bye-bye.
We're out.